Welcome to the Travel Squad podcast, where adventure meets inspiration. We're your hosts. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Jamal. Together we explore international destinations, hike epic national parks, and share unforgettable travel experiences with you, one passport stamp at a time.
Our mission is to inspire you to travel by showing you how you can make it work no matter your budget, schedule, or experience level.
We bring you along so that you can laugh, get excited, and start planning your own trip.
So grab your ticket and your passport.
And don't forget your travel insurance.
And get ready to embark on a new adventure with us around the globe.
Hey Squaddies, Travel Squad Podcast is back with Just the Tip, our Friday mini episode series where we give you quick travel stories, hacks, and recommendations to set you off into your weekend right.
Today, we're taking you to Bangkok, Thailand, and we're going to recap everything we did in Bangkok during a very quick 24-hour visit that we had in the city.
Yes, so Bangkok was our first stop on our adventures throughout Thailand. We had a very limited time here, as Brittany had mentioned, only about 24 hours, and we made those 24 hours absolutely count. We enjoyed our time so much so that, of course, we know when we go back to Thailand, we do want to spend more time here. But this is a breakdown for you guys of how to get the most of Bangkok in 24 hours.
So Bangkok is actually Thailand's capital. It was founded in 1782 by King Rama I, and it has now a population of 11 million people.
I would say if you're coming to Thailand, pretty much everyone is going to be flying into Bangkok, right?
Absolutely. It's the main way in. Of course, you could fly internationally to other main destinations, but probably more so Bangkok, especially if you're coming from North America. That's probably going to be your first place. Bangkok's known for its ornate temples, bustling street markets, and electrifying nightlife. I say electrifying nightlife. We got to experience just a tiny little taste of it, but definitely a big party spot. And its main landmarks include the Grand Palace, because not a lot of people realize this. Thailand is a monarchy. They still have a king. So the Grand Palace is one of the main landmarks, Wat Arun and Wat Pho. And when you hear Wat just means temple. So of course, Thailand being a Buddhist country, you do have a lot of Buddhist temples.
And we have a few tips for you in regards to visiting Bangkok. So we'll get into them real quick, but make sure to download Grab, which is the Uber or Lyft of Thailand. And traffic is really bad in Bangkok. You're going to wait 2 to 3 times the amount of time it says for you to get to your next destination.
Did you actually use Grab when you were there?
Yes, we actually used Grab a lot while we were there, and it was super helpful. The only thing is people can cancel on you. So just like Lyft and Uber drivers can cancel on you in the US, Grab drivers can cancel on you if they see where you're going or if you're too far away. And it does take a long time to get through traffic, especially if you're going through rush hour. So just keep all of that in mind if you are trying to get somewhere in a timely manner.
Yeah, a lot of times when we would request something on Grab, it would say the driver is 2 to 5 minutes out. And like you said, Brittany, honestly expect 2 to 3, maybe even 4 times that amount of time, because even though they may be close, that traffic in Bangkok is just intense and insane. So it takes a lot longer than you would think to go pretty much anywhere in the city.
It's been almost a decade since I've been to Bangkok, but when I was there, I remember tuk-tuks, and it was very easy to catch a cab on the street. How was that? Did you see that at all?
Yeah, tuk-tuks were really easy to catch, but they are more expensive than Grab, which I thought was interesting.
Same with taxis too, because you can either get an unmetered or a metered taxi. They're all supposed to be metered, but going into a country, being a foreigner, if they see you as a foreigner, you never know when somebody can go ahead and take advantage of you. So I honestly think it's better to actually just do a Grab, because it tells you the price right away in the app and you know exactly what you're getting, a registered driver, and that was our favorite way to get around.
A few other tips are to make sure to pull money from the ATM. You're going to need Thai baht. You're going to need cash while you're there. A lot of the markets and stalls that you're going to do are cash only. And so you're not going to be able to spend a lot on a credit card other than like the big hotels and restaurants that you go out and eat at.
And when you say restaurants, you're talking like big restaurants. Most restaurants, again, of course, are cash-based, like you mentioned. So really expect to be spending cash and not putting a lot of things on your credit card.
That's refreshing. I'm tired of these countries and their credit card ways. This is old school. I like it.
Yeah, some countries I like to spend cash. Some countries I still like to use credit card because, of course, I want those credit card points. But yeah, it is fun to go places and do cash these days. It's kind of old school for sure. But you also do want to make sure that you have appropriate electric outlets and adapters. Now, if you Google what type of electric plugs they use in Thailand, they're going to go ahead and tell you. But I felt like everywhere we were, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, all these places have, of course, foreign tourists, whether it be from North America, Europe, Australia, and everywhere else in between. And they pretty much, all hotels had universal outlets. So it didn't matter where you were coming from, like one plug was a universal outlet. So we brought ours just in case, but we didn't really find that we needed them, but just bring it in case where you go doesn't have those universal plugs for you.
Another tip for you is about weather. So Thailand has 3 seasons. They have a wet season from May to October, the cool season from November to February, which is when we went. We went in January, but it's still really hot and humid. And then they actually have a hot season, which is March through May. So even hotter, like 120 degrees. While we were there, it was ranging in the high 80s, low 90s as a high.
Quite warm.
That is quite warm. It was definitely warm, and then the humidity does not help. So, of course, this time frame in which we went, which was actually in January, is one of the more popular times to go to Thailand because the weather is more temperate, even though it is still hot. Now, as I had mentioned earlier when we were talking about some of the main attractions to see, they are the Buddhist temples. So here's some tips for you guys for the temples. They do require that you wear proper attire. What do I mean by that? You have to wear clothing that covers your knees, your midriff, as well as shoulders. So girls, if you're wearing spaghetti straps and your shoulders are out, you can't really go in. A lot of places will have shawls to give you as a cover, either for free or to buy. Men as well as women with shorts, that's really a no-go. So a lot of places will also sell temple pants, which I had to buy some temple pants at one point because my shorts were just a little bit above my knee and they got me at the Grand Palace, right? So I had to do that. But then we went a few other places, not necessarily in Bangkok, but throughout Thailand, just as a heads up. And my shorts were a little bit past my knee and they said it was okay. But nevertheless, you still want to wear proper attire, or at least if you're not wearing the proper attire, be advised that you may have to buy some or borrow some at the temples to be able to go in.
I just want to know, like, on a scale of 1 to booty shorts, like, where were yours?
Mine? From 1 to booty shorts? I would not say that they were anywhere near booty shorts, Kim. I had my normal shorts. Think Miami style shorts. You know, that kind of look when guys are wearing the... Well, not that high up because I can't pull that look. But you know what? A little bit shorter of shorts with the button-up, loose-fitting shirt type situation. That's where Jamal was at when he got stuck buying the temple pants.
And to continue on to tips for the temples, you also want to wear shoes that are easy to take on and off. And if you want to use the bathroom or need to use the bathroom, use them at the temples because they are Western style and clean.
Did you encounter Eastern style toilets?
We sure did at some points.
Oh, wow. Special. Squatties, before we get into the meat of this episode, I do want to let you know, a little sneak peek, that we will have a itinerary on Bangkok available for download when this episode airs, as well as an itinerary for the whole trip to Thailand that we took that we'll be talking about in the subsequent episodes coming out. So check the link in our show notes and download yours. Hey Squatties, we have an incredible new travel resource to share with you. Wander, an online made-to-order travel medication kit created by doctors that gets delivered right to you without a visit to your local clinic.
We always travel with destination-specific medications to stay safe, but researching what we need and scheduling doctor visits can be such a hassle. We recently discovered Wander, and it has simplified the process.
With just a few clicks online, you can order a personalized medication kit tailored to your destination and have it shipped straight to your door. Plus, Wander connects you with a doctor you can message before, during, and after your trip for peace of mind.
Wander's kits include 10 essential medications for travel concerns like malaria prevention, traveler's diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, rashes, anxiety, jet lag, and more, so you're prepared for anything.
Head over to travelwithwander.com. That's Wander spelled WANDR, and get 10% off your order with promo code TRAVELSQUAD10.
Hey, Fidelity. How can I remember to invest every month?
With the Fidelity app, you can choose a schedule and set up recurring investments in stocks and ETFs.
Oh, that sounds easier than I thought.
You got this.
Yeah, I do. Now, where did I put my keys?
You will find them where you left them.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Every cup of Nespresso coffee is an invitation to transform your morning routine into a ritual you can treasure each and every day. Using the Virtuo Pup, a simple touch of the button freshly brews bold aromas and a rich, velvety crema layer for delicious cafe-quality coffee at home. Whether you enjoy your coffee hot or over ice, every sip, every morning is unforgettable. Nothing tastes like Nespresso coffee. Visit Nespresso.com or our app to explore our full range of easy-to-use machines and coffees not found anywhere else.
So good, so good, so good.
Great brands, great prices. Everyone's got a reason to rack.
Because they have framed jeans.
Nike? Yes.
Just so many good brands.
Vince, Kurt Geiger London, Rag & Bone, and more are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. You never know what you'll find, but you know it's going to be so good. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
So day one was just our travel day. We went from LAX to Singapore, and then we landed in Singapore and we traveled from there to Bangkok. So when we landed in Singapore, it was about 5:30 a.m. and then we had a 9:30 flight to Bangkok, but our flight got delayed by like 2.5 hours. So we didn't leave until about noon. Once we finally got to Bangkok, we were pretty tired from all of that traveling. We took the airport rail link, which has 8 stops along the central stretch of Bangkok. And we got off at one closest to our hotel. And then we walked to our hotel, which was a mistake because we should have just gotten a grab. We had to like walk on this street with a whole bunch of cars. It wasn't even far, but it wasn't a walkable street. But we did it. We made it safe. We checked into our hotel and we're like, you know what? We're just going to take like a little nap, maybe just an hour and a half. And so we set our alarms.
Famous last words.
Yeah. So we set our alarms and my alarm went off at the time and I told Jamal and he was like, okay, and rolled back over. So we slept through the rest of them. And 5 hours later, he woke up and was like, Britt, it's 9:30 at night. And we're like, oh, crap. So we were like, we got to make the most of it. Perfect time to hit up the nightlife and the night markets. So that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, I love how Brittany blames me about the alarm, but both of us slept through it. She had an alarm, I had an alarm, and somehow we both hit snooze or turned it off without realizing. But nevertheless, perfect. We needed that nap. It's great. We were vitalized now for nightlife in Bangkok. So one thing that we knew that we really wanted to do was, of course, eat delicious Thai food from the local vendors at the street market. And there is no better place to do that than in Chinatown. So we caught ourselves a grab to go get food in Chinatown.
Okay, hold on. Chinatown in Thailand. First thing you do, you're in Bangkok, first time you ever step foot in Thailand, and you say, let's go to Chinatown.
Well, Chinatown, that's the main shops that they have, right? Is the old Chinatown shops. And if you're there during the day, which we did go during the day, we're going to get that in a little bit. It's a completely different atmosphere, right? During the day, you're right, Chinatown. Why would you go? At night, it doesn't matter. Chinatown is Thai street food, vendors lining the streets. So this is where you go to get good, authentic Thai food. Of course, you can find some places with a nice little fusion of Chinese as well, but you're really getting a lot of Thai out here. Absolutely.
Yeah, during the day, you're going to find the traditional shops, jade, silver, gold shops, antique shops, Chinese medicine shops. At night, those shops kind of disappear. You have all of these food stalls. We got some black sesame bao buns, coconut pancakes, chicken pad thai, mango sticky rice.
Wow.
Got a ton of food. Super cheap. It's like 33 baht to the dollar, and everything here, like the coconut pancakes were 10 baht each. The chicken pad thai was 80 baht. So it's like $2.50 for a whole plate of chicken pad thai that we split.
Oh, so good.
This was one of my favorite things about Thailand, not necessarily going to Chinatown here, but knowing that good food is still relatively inexpensive and the value of your money goes a long way. even for how many tourists come to Thailand. So we were really, really in heaven just sampling a whole bunch of stuff. So that's what we did, exploring Chinatown, getting some food. From there, we moved on to Sukhumvit. Now, Sukhumvit is the name of a street, but is really known for its shopping, nightlife, as well as restaurants. And then on Sukhumvit, you're going to find the famous Nana Plaza, which is where some would go if they're looking for a little bit more adult entertainment. And I know we all know what we're talking about. Thailand is famous for it. You are also going to find it on here. But even if you're not partaking in that, this is an amazing place to go and just stroll, people watch, and see the offerings of the city.
Did you go to Nana Plaza while you were in Bangkok, Kim?
I did go, actually. Yeah, we wanted to see it because it is a sex worker area. If you want to pick that up, this is where you're going to go. This is known for it. So we did go down there. People are literally pulling you in to the places. And it's kind of freaky. But we did go in. We got a drink at a spot just to like see it. This one place we went into is multiple floors with stages with girls just on the stage. And they all have a different look, a different vibe, and they have a number. And then you can choose which number you want. And we did not do that part. But that was just different to see for sure.
It's an interesting experience, and a lot of people would say, hey, I don't really want to see that. Now, keep in mind, all of Sukhumvit is not like that, right? On Sukhumvit, there is Nana Plaza. There's this one area where we're describing it. But think about it this way. Would you go to Amsterdam and then not go to the Canal Ring area where they have the red light district? You're going to walk through it. You're going to see it. Everybody does. This is kind of really the same thing here when you're in Bangkok on Sukhumvit, passing through Nana Plaza. So you can bypass that, A-okay, but don't bypass going to Sukhumvit and just really experiencing the nightlife, the bars, and the atmosphere that this road has to offer.
I'm noticing you did not go to Khao San Road.
We did not. We slept in a little too late, unfortunately, Kim, and we did not make our way over there, but that is another very popular spot to go. And I know when you were in Bangkok, you went, so tell us a little bit about that.
It's just wild. Like, the whole street is filled with people. Sidewalks are filled with people. The bars, restaurants are filled with people. Some of them aren't, just playing loud music and have lights going, but the bar is empty and they're trying to get you to come in. But it's definitely a place to party. There's a lot of music. You can dance. You can eat barbecued scorpions. There's a lot of insects for sale around here, if you're into that.
So it's definitely a place to go. It was on our list, but of course we just had a short 24 hours and I really wanted to check out Sukhumvit. One tip I do want to say about Nana Plaza, if you are going to go as you're passing through or specifically going for this, is one, you cannot take any pictures. To get into the plaza, they have ID and security checks, and they definitely don't allow any outside drinks, even water bottles. I had just picked up a water bottle because Brittany and I were thirsty, and I was only about like a quarter of the way done, and we were trying to go in and like, no, you got to finish that. So I chugged it all down, but keep that in mind. You'll definitely need your ID and no outside drinks when you get into the plaza area.
So we got back to the hotel about 12:30, 1 a.m. and we wanted to get some rest because, again, we only had 24 hours in Bangkok and we wanted to make the most of it.
When you go on an international trip like this, your phone service might not work in the other country. So one resource that we have for you squatties is called Airalo, and it's an eSIM provider that you can program online, get it on your phone when you get into that other country so you do not disrupt the internet, data, phone connection service that you have there. It really comes in handy for a trip like this one to Thailand. You can find the link to Airalo in our show notes.
This episode is brought to you by Nerds Gummy Clusters, the sweet treat that always elevates the vibe. With a sweet gummy surrounded with tangy, crunchy nerds, every bite of Nerds Gummy Clusters brings you a whole new world of flavor. Whether it's game night, on the way to a concert, or kicking back with your crew, unleash your senses with Nerds Gummy Clusters.
This episode is brought to you by Atlassian. Atlassian makes the team collaboration software that powers enterprise businesses around the world, including over 80% of the Fortune 500. With Atlassian's AI-powered software like Jira, Confluence, and Loom, you'll have more time to do the work that matters. In fact, Atlassian customers experience a 25% reduction in project duration per year. Unleash the potential of your team at Atlassian.com. Atlassian.
Oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? Well, check this out. It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic famous foods from restaurants across the country anywhere nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. Seriously. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
So we woke up the next morning, which technically was day 4 of our trip with the time change. And we were going to be leaving Bangkok, moving on to Phuket today. So we had limited time in the morning to get done what we wanted to get done before we had to go grab our luggage and get ourselves to the airport. So the first thing that we did was take a grab from our hotel to go get sticky rice. Now we went to Panich Sticky Rice. It's open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it's near the Grand Palace, which we were going to first. Now, mango sticky rice is a very famous street food dessert that you're going to find all throughout Thailand, but this is a Michelin bib rated sticky rice that we really, really did want to try. So if you've ever had sticky rice when you're in Thailand, you know how good it is. This one is actually Michelin rated. So we had this for breakfast. It's about 130 baht, and we got 2, which is way overpriced compared to normal sticky rice. But being that it's Michelin bib was really worth it. So this was our first stop before heading to the Grand Palace.
From there, we walked to the Grand Palace. It was only about a 13-minute walk. And then along the way, someone tried to scam us. But we knew of the scams in the area. And one thing I had read was that as you get closer to the palace, someone will approach you and say, oh, the palace is closed today, but like I know some other palaces or temples nearby, and I can get you a ride there. And they were trying to tell us that the palace was closed and it was a Saturday and that it wasn't open. But I had already read online that it was open and knew it was actually already open. And so we were like, oh no, we're still going to check it out anyways. And they still tried to convince us to go with them. And we said no,
and
kept walking.
And this is a common scam throughout all of Thailand for tourist spots. If they ask you, hey, where are you going? They'll try to switch you to go somewhere else. So just keep that in mind, right? If you know and done the research, something's open, just kind of go ahead and stick to it. But the Grand Palace, this is a place that we really wanted to go for 2 reasons. One, because this is the palace of the monarchy of Thailand. They no longer live there, the royal family, but it was built in 1782 and served as the official residence of Thai kings for over 150 years. And there is a very famous temple on the palace grounds that we wanted to see just as well.
Yeah, on the palace grounds, you'll find the temple of the Emerald Buddha. And it's a small but sacred jade Buddha statue. You actually can't take pictures of it while you're in the temple. And the Buddha statue is actually dressed in different clothing depending on what season you're in. So because Thailand has 3 seasons, it has 3 different outfits depending on the season you're in. But the Grand Palace itself is just a huge complex of temples, buildings, murals, art, everything. And you can literally spend hours there. We probably spent about 2 hours there exploring the grounds, and it cost about 500 baht a person. Like Jamal said, you do have to wear appropriate clothing. He got caught up in temple pants, and he was very insecure about his picture for the rest of the day.
Well, you know what? I just didn't look too good in the pants with the shirt that I was wearing. So yeah, I didn't really want any full body pics that day while I was on the grounds. But you know, I'll tell you what, those temple pants, they are very comfy lounge at home pants. I'm not going to deny that. And actually a really good buy because the equivalent came out to be like $6. But yeah, this is where they caught me at that there. But we really enjoyed our time at the Grand Palace. We made our way to the temple of the Emerald Buddha. Brittany mentioned how it had those outfits. The Thai king actually changes it during the season when the season actually changes. So that's something unique about it just as well. And there's a long storied history of why the Emerald Buddha is so well revered. And I would recommend looking at that information online so you could understand and know. To explain it here would really be a disservice to how much pride and honor that Emerald Buddha really brings to the Thai people, but it is a great story.
From the Grand Palace and the Temple of the Emerald Buddha, we walked to the reclining Buddha temple, which is down the street. It was about 15 minutes away. And that temple is associated with King Rama I, who rebuilt the temple on an earlier temple site. And this is actually where his ashes are enshrined. But this complex holds the largest collection of Buddha images in Thailand and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Yeah, so in English, it's known as the Temple of the Reclining Buddha because Buddha and the statue they have in the temple, he is reclining. But the name in Thai is called Wat Pho. So if you hear Wat Pho, Temple of the Reclining Buddha. And when I was there, I really didn't realize, hey, why is Buddha actually reclining? When we say reclining, he's not sitting in a chair, reclining in a lazy boy. No, none of that. He's laying on his side. And this Buddha statue is like over 150 feet long of him just laying on his side. But him reclining on his side and laying there is actually a representation of Buddha's entry into nirvana at the end stage of all his reincarnations. So it has a very, very specific meaning that I wish I knew when we were actually in the temple, but now it makes a lot of sense and I appreciate it now looking back on.
I remember thinking the same thing when I saw it. I was like, that's not reclining, that's laying.
That's what they mean when they say reclining. So don't get the image like we said and both thought him of a lazy boy. He's laying on his side.
They did have scarves and things for free to help cover up if you weren't dressed appropriately here. It cost about 300 baht to go in. There are some gongs outside of the temple that you can actually hit yourself if you make a donation. So Jamal and I both did that. And then inside the temple, you're going to get a whole bunch of different views of the reclining Buddha. So pick your 10 favorite spots to take pictures because every time you get to a new photo point, you're going to want to take another picture. But on the back side, you can actually pay 20 baht for a bowl of coins. And they have a whole bunch of bowls lined up against the back wall. You can drop one coin into the 108 bowls that they have lined up. And these represent the auspicious characters of Buddha. And it's believed to bring good fortune. So Jamal and I both got a bowl and we went down the line and put all of the coins in, all 108 bowls.
Did you happen to see during this whole experience the flower water situation that they have?
No, what are you referencing?
If I remember right, it was when we first went in. You took your shoes off, then you went in, and there was like a trough of water. And they had these beautiful long-stemmed flowers that you like dip in and then you pat it on someone's head.
So we didn't do that, but yes, I've seen that before. We did see it outside this temple and we saw it outside of another one, I believe, as well.
Missed your opportunity.
I missed my opportunity.
But you got the coins. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I'm really glad that we did that. There is something that we did not do here that Brittany wanted to do, though.
Yeah, they actually have a traditional Thai massage school on the complex, and you can get a Thai massage here, but we were running low on time, so we did not do that. And we spent about an hour on the grounds here. Then we went to Wat Arun, which is the Temple of Dawn. To get there, you actually have to take a ferry across the river. Ferry's super cheap. It's only 5 baht each way. And you make it over to Wat Arun.
Yeah, and the ferry location is very close to Wat Pho, and then you cross the river on the ferry, and then Wat Arun is right there. Now, Wat Arun got its name from the Hindu god Aruna, which represents dawn or the rising sun, hence the name why it's called Temple of Dawn. And it can be recognized by its distinctive spires, which I didn't know this. Apparently, there is an official terminology for it called prang. So, you know, in Thai architecture, when you see those spires, apparently they're called prangs. And you can climb the stairs. This temple has stairs. And, you know, a lot of places these days when you go, if they have stairs, they don't let you go on it. Here, they actually do. So it was fun to walk all around it. But this temple was so intricate with like mosaics and seashells and statues and sculptures. I was really impressed with it. And I loved that you actually got to go in and around it.
Yeah, I did like that you got to climb it and go in and around it, and it was really colorful and beautiful. This one, it had a lot of people dressed up in traditional Thai costumes. There was actually people advertising that you can go down the street and get put up in the costumes and the makeup, and then you can go and take pictures in front of this temple. So it was a very popular one for that. Cost 200 baht to get into the temple, cash only, and it came with a bottle of water, which I really liked, actually.
That's
Stay
great.
hydrated. We spent an hour here exploring it. I honestly could have spent longer here. It was just so beautiful. I think beauty-wise, this is probably one of my favorite ones. From there, we took a Grab back to Chinatown. We wanted to get some more food. And then when we got back to Chinatown, we were just completely blown away with how different it was during the day. It was a lot more souvenirs and street vendors and less food. But we did find a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant, and we got some fried chicken wings, pad thai with crispy pork, shrimp fried rice. And for all of that, it was $10.
You forgot to mention we got some beer with that too. So that included the $10 cost, which were a couple of beers. So again, your money going a really long way when it comes to actually buying food, which we love. But like we were saying earlier, just a completely different dynamic of Chinatown during the day versus at night. But after that, unfortunately, our time had to come to a close because we were going on to Phuket. So we took a Grab back to our hotel, got our luggage that we had left with reception. And then from there, we took the air train back to the airport to continue on. So our time in Bangkok was short-lived, but I really do want to go back and spend a little bit more time because I know Thailand is a country that we're definitely going to be heading back to.
We have a lot more to share about this Thailand trip coming up in the next episodes. You'll hear about Phuket. You'll hear about how we got to Thailand flying Singapore Airlines business class, lie flat seats. And then after that, you'll hear about Chiang Mai. So stay tuned to episodes to come. And thanks so much for tuning in to this week's Just a Tip.
Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on all the socials at Travel Squad Podcast.
And have fun traveling this weekend.
Bye, Squaddies.
Bye, Squaddies.